and welcome to another episode of All That Film. Welcome to another episode of All That Film. Today we will be talking Toy Story 4, a review and spoilers of that. Your host today is me, myself, Hey, and today we're actually joined by three new co-hosts. Because this is a family movie, I thought there would be no other better guests to bring on than my own family. So, my mom.
Hello.
My dad.
What's up?
My sister.
Hey.
And my two dogs, Dirk and Daisy, are also in the recording room. So if you hear any barks or scuttering, that's them. But we'll move right into segments. There's going to be a review for Toy Story 4 a little bit later today, with spoilers at the end of that. But the first segment we have is movie news of the week. So I have three pieces of news I've gathered, and this is going to be a little bit weirder because the three guests I have this week are not as much in the know. So the first piece, Space Jam 2, will feature a bunch of NBA players that have been named, and a couple WNBA players. Players that were named were Damian Lillard, Anthony Davis, Klay Thompson, as well as WNBA star Diana Taurasi. How do you guys feel about this? Space Jam 2.
Probably not something I will be compelled to have to see.
Why is the beard not in it?
What about Swoops?
I don't think... Who's Swoops?
She retired like 20 years ago.
She's still iconic. She's iconic.
Best WNBA player ever.
I don't think James Harden's friends with LeBron.
Why do they have to make a movie out of something that's already really good?
Why is
We just saw Toy Story 4.
I know.
What do you mean? So this is a hearty nay from everybody, correct?
Not excited
Gotcha.
about it.
Not excited.
Maybe it might be good. Maybe.
Is Bugs Bunny going to be in it?
Bugs Bunny must be in it.
Yeah, no, it's the Space Jam sequel.
Yeah.
They have to be in it. Okay, this second piece of news, Netflix's Murder Mystery, starring Adam Sandler and Jennifer Aniston, has about 30 million people who have watched it in the opening weekend. Me and my family actually watched this Adam Sandler movie. I was just curious what you guys think about this number, 30 million, because that's the most viewership Netflix has ever gotten on any of their original content. I'm a little disappointed. I don't know. There were just a lot of ads for it, and it's, I guess, intriguing for people to see Sandler do Agatha Christie. But
it was underwhelming.
It was okay.
I was a little disappointed.
I personally enjoyed it.
She hasn't seen it. She has not seen
Did
it.
not watch it. We did not let her watch that movie.
I loved the first hour, but then it kind of went off the rails.
Yeah, I just thought it was boring.
Yeah.
More than anything.
Yeah.
Definitely felt like they were trying to go for a reboot of Clue, but that didn't happen.
Yeah. But yeah, I think 30 million is just way too high.
But Adam Sandler
I don't
was
understand.
good.
I guess, but the thing, Netflix's numbers are dumb to me because they don't ever share how many minutes that was for the 30 million people. How many, if there's individual accounts or if it's just the main account that's linked to all the profiles. So if one account watched it and there's 5 people on there, I don't know.
Hey.
All right, the last piece of news. Nicolas Cage is reported to have required hot yogurt on his toes to enjoy a love scene with Jennifer Beals during filming Vampire's Kiss.
That is a disgusting picture.
Is that a movie from the 80s?
I don't know.
Kiss?
I'd never heard of Vampire's Kiss. I just thought it was... I was low on news this week.
Must be an old movie, right?
Yeah.
It's 1988.
Yeah. I knew it was an old movie. I've never
Why
seen
did he
it.
put warm yogurt on his toes?
Hot yogurt, yes.
Hot
Yeah.
yogurt. There's going to need to be some research involved in this, but I don't think we can speak to it.
What
right
flavor of yogurt?
now. Why hot yogurt? I mean, there's so many other options.
All right, well, we'll move on to the next segment. Trailers, yay or nay. So we actually saw this movie in the theater. I think this is going to be a returning segment for reviews where we're just doing the main film that's coming out this week, so Toy Story 4.
Can we review the movie theater?
No.
Okay.
They're not a sponsor.
Yeah. We went to an Alamo Drafthouse for the first time. We won't say where,
Oh,
but
nice.
it is really nice. But we have 3 trailers that I want you guys to say if the trailer sold you to see the movie opening weekend. So the first one, Frozen 2. Just give me a yay or nay.
I don't remember the trailer.
Or
Or
Nay.
You said nay or
I mean,
No,
we're
yes.
gonna have to see Frozen 2.
Yeah, we're gonna see it.
We gotta
but
see it.
It didn't inspire me.
I thought it was
probably-
really good.
It probably
It was a
didn't.
great trailer.
I was kind of creeped out by the underwater horse.
Yeah, that was cool. So that's a nay, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, I'll
We're
see
gonna
it.
have to see the
To
movie.
be honest,
we'll
I
see.
think it'll
Opening
be good.
weekend, no.
Okay.
But the trailer didn't inspire
Sunday
me.
morning at the discount fair.
That's
yes.
still opening weekend.
Yeah, maybe on Sunday morning.
So there was what's another trailer that was there?
The-
Oh,
the-
Dora.
Well, I was gonna save that for Thursday. But we can talk about Dora. Dora the Explorer was playing.
Definitely gonna see that movie.
Well, the teaser trailer was a bust. I wasn't gonna.
Can you
I had no
spell
interest in seeing
palm
it.
tree?
But now that
She'll
I saw
grow
that
that.
Swiper
She'll
is in it,
outgrow it.
and Boots is a little creepy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
Boots
that's
looks really bad.
But it makes sense now because I thought, why is Dora so old? And they show the younger Dora at the beginning, so it kind of explains.
In the preview, we're not giving anything away.
Yeah, yeah. And
I'm gonna. That looks like a really funny movie. I'm gonna have to see it.
Gotcha. So that's a yay all around
the
for the
other
Dora
movies?
the Explorer
I'd have
movie.
to take my nieces and nephews. Or something.
I'm trying to think of one besides the Addams Family, but I guess we can.
Oh
do
yeah,
Addams.
we gotta see the Addams Family.
Ew.
Okay, so I guess we'll go on to Addams Family. I don't think this
I
looks
think
very
it's gonna
good.
be
no,
really
I don't
bad.
need it.
Yeah, I actually watched the Addams Family movie last year for the first time. I loved it, but this I don't know. There's just something weird about it. Like
I
it's
did
trying
like
too
that
hard. or-
Wednesday's pigtails were nooses.
that
Oh
was
my gosh.
weird.
I saw that.
Okay, then we'll move right into the main topic this week. We're talking Toy Story 4.
The horror movie.
Oh my gosh.
Hi, for those.
It's in the
well,
trailer, it's in the
no, that's not how we go. Let's
Sorry,
just
sorry.
give like a general background on the Toy Story franchise and how we sort of grew up with that. I'll go first. Toy Story is one of my favorite movies as a kid. Both my parents can probably attest to this. It was always in the rotation. I loved it. I've grown up with all these characters. It's just a really compelling franchise that they haven't dropped the ball on any of these.
They have
And
not.
just a heads up, they didn't drop the ball on the fourth. But feel free to share y'all's insight.
They did not. I was so pleasantly surprised.
No, on the entire Toy Story line.
Yeah.
Um,
Every one of them is great.
my favorite one is actually the second one.
Oh.
I think my favorite one's still the first because I
Yeah,
sort
I
of
do
have to
like-
Yeah.
default
I do
because
like
it's
the
the
first.
first.
I felt like
I was really hoping the guy at the carnival was Sid, but they really didn't.
No, it would have been too much Sid time.
I feel like every time they do it, a new like thing, it always has the same like they always want to come back to their owner. It's kind of reusing.
What?
Like I feel like they use the same formula every time. Like they got lost. Oh, they need to go back to
Gotta
their
get-
owner.
gotta get
Oh,
back to-
they gotta go back.
Gotta get back
Yeah,
to Andy.
I love the actual thing, but like
I-
I'm just saying, I feel like they keep reusing the same formula over and over
If it's
again.
not broke,
I mean, but that's their whole. They're loyal. They're
Yeah.
everything. The children are everything. Their person is everything.
So are we talking about Toy Story 4?
no,
or
we
the
can
whole
get
franchise?
into just Toy Story 4 in general.
I thought this was definitely Woody-centric.
Oh yeah.
Like Buzz just seemed to be a minor character.
Yeah.
That was a
Cassie-
little weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, I don't know if I can
I
say.
also noticed in the credits Don Rickles did do the voice for Mr. Potato Head, and I know he passed away, and so I was curious how he was still listening. I guess
They,
he
they
did the.
didn't do that many clips of him. So
Yeah,
it
they
could've
might have been like a
older voices.
re-recording or like the audio
That's
text
true.
files they kept.
I didn't think of that. But,
So for all those bloopers they record, they could have had all of those.
yeah.
But yeah, that was interesting. So where would you guys put this in the Toy Story line? And overall, how do you feel it fits as a fourth movie?
I definitely enjoyed it, but I would have to rank it fourth among the four films.
Really?
But I enjoyed it. It was fun.
We laughed so hard.
I felt it was a much quicker pace than the original Toy Story. I just felt it was a lot of.
It didn't linger
constant
and
action.
yeah, in a lot of places.
Yeah, I really liked the plush toys from the carnival They're really hilarious.
Oh.
How they were stitched together, just like real plush toys at the fair.
I'd probably put I don't know, because the Toy Story movies are a little weird for me, because I sort of group them all together, because I think they're of the same quality, and that makes my ranking weird, where I have 1, 2, then 3, so I have to slot in 4 somewhere. Might be better than the second one. I think it's better than the third one. I don't know. The thing that I was in, me and my dad actually argued about this for a second. I wanted to save most of it for here. I think the biggest takeaway for me that I liked about Toy Story 4 is that this didn't feel inconsequential, and it really furthered the storyline that was in the original Toy Story trilogy, and built on these established characters and added a degree of depth to all of them. But I know you were saying that it didn't really feel like...
Is 2 the one where the minor 49ers?
Where they meet
Yes.
Jesse and the
Oh
minor.
no, that's not on my top. I think this
Jesse's story is what
Oh gosh,
made my eyes ball.
in Toy Story 2.
Yeah, when they talk about Jesse losing
yeah.
her
Oh yeah.
person.
You want to give away the...
Can we point
I mean,
out
if they're listening to a Toy Story 4 review
They've
at
seen
this
it too.
point, and they're listening to the review,
I was very, very surprised by this movie because I didn't see very many previews, but I saw the one where they said she made a friend, and I was like, "There's no way this is gonna work."
I really enjoyed it, but I was worried about Forky, but Forky was a funny character.
They did a good job.
I love the Bill. I
ooh,
thought that was pretty funny. You didn't like the skunk?
No,
one?
no,
That's
that's
too
sort of a
much
spoiler.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
Okay,
We're
we can
We're
go
new.
we can go straight into spoilers. It's okay.
Hey,
Sorry for anybody that heard that. It
They
won't
don't
make any
really
sense
know what
without.
it is. I mean, they'll know when they know.
We'll go
anyway.
into actual spoilers for Toy Story
Sorry.
4. No, it's fine. Okay, so my favorite part about
But
this.
don't give up the other stuff.
Wait,
Let 'em see the movie.
Can I point out something?
When Buzz
Sure.
sacrifices his life, that's really...
Okay, that doesn't happen. Again, we're in spoilers. We're about to spoil a lot of the movie. This is stuff I didn't really want to say in spoiler section, but Josh Cooley, this is actually his first directing gig. He did a great job picking up where all the Pixar legends that have directed in the past left off. One thing that I will say, the score was really surprising in this one because it's completely different from the first 3. And they lean away from the "You Got a Friend in Me," which goes back to what you were saying a little bit. It's less about Buzz and more Woody-centric. I mean, it starts with Woody being, the main person, and even Bo Peep. It's probably a second Bo Peep movie.
right.
Which I thought it was cool to go back to that character.
I really, really like the
Better
character.
animation.
It also, it had amazing animation. I don't know why
Is
you
that what you
coughed
wanted
that.
to She was trying to.
Then you can just
Proceed.
say that.
Well, the first one is
ahead.
25 years old. So, I mean...
It's not 25.
It's not 25 years old.
24 years old. Came out in 1995,
Oh my god.
the first one. The second one came
Wow.
out in 99.
Maggie, what were
I always get this
daughter,
wrong.
What were you saying?
And the third one came out in 2010. I looked it up.
I'd really like to see the first one again just to see how dramatically different the
It's
animation is.
real bad.
Because I think it'll look very rudimentary, right?
It just looked like an animated movie, and this looked more
It looked
the
real.
the carnival
Gosh.
and the antique store looked very realistic with the cobwebs and the dust bunnies.
Yeah, it was incredible.
Well, and Bo
The
Peep.
degree of
Yeah, Bo Peep's
Of how thorough
shine
they
kinda
were
bothered
with-
me. I don't know why.
No, I think it really added a dimension to her. For how fragile she was, but she was tough. You know what I mean?
The reason they made toy, one of the reasons was because they didn't they didn't have people down. They looked plastic, kind of. So they did the animation like that. Now they don't really need to.
I think going off that point, Woody looks a little too polished for
Yes,
me.
I agree.
Especially in the
For-
beginning. I don't
especially
know
for
if they
being so
changed something
old.
with his
Right.
nose or...
Right, he was too shiny. Or
Yeah,
something.
there was
Yeah.
some weird...
Yeah,
it was
yes.
too... It was almost like it was too...
He was almost like he was porcelain.
not even
like
that.
purple.
It was like he was too perfectly curved almost.
Yeah.
Like there
yeah.
wasn't a degree of ruggedness.
He didn't
Like
have
they
any
haven't
wear
been
and
played
tear.
with.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he
It's
had wear
in
and
the
tear in the
box.
first movie.
He had like a fresh sheen on him.
But in the second one, he gets refurbished.
I felt like they broke some barriers. Like when they had some water scenes, they're way too realistic.
I mean, you haven't seen The Good Dinosaur.
Yeah, I have seen it.
It always
They
goes
do
back
that.
to
They
the
do that.
Good
No,
Dinosaur.
seriously, Good Dinosaur has great animation with water. So at this point, like,
There's like a boundary.
I know it sounds bad, but it's one of those things where Pixar has already showed me photorealistic water, so I'm like, oh, okay. Well,
This was even better.
So,
though. It
did
was
anybody
really
see the
amazing.
A237?
I didn't. I was
A113.
looking for it the whole time.
A113.
Do we want to talk
Yeah.
about Easter eggs, I guess?
It's A113.
Oh, I totally got an Easter egg.
You
I caught it.
got Boo in the kindergarten. That was
Completely missed it.
we'll talk about cry moments or sad moments later, but
Oh, we shouldn't talk about that.
I noticed
That'll
the
ruin it.
Monsters U little banner. It was in the antique shop. Yeah, because I knew because there was a banner up there, and I was like, it's got to be something. And I was like, oh yeah, it's Monsters U. I didn't notice the numbers. I don't know if you guys saw that.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, and Pixar has a dragon movie coming out later, so I was sort of like
You
on
know,
the lookout for.
One thing that I did see, and I want to see it again,
Vicious
is they showed a tattoo on the
I was
guy's
wondering
leg.
the same thing. Yeah,
Oh,
I was
yeah.
wondering if it was the pizza truck, but I don't think it
I
was.
couldn't find the pizza truck
Yeah,
in
I
this one, and
didn't,
that's like a staple in
But
all
I
the Toy
just
Story.
they kind of zoomed in on his
Yeah,
tattoo on the back of his thigh, and maybe it's nothing.
There was another thing, I can't remember what it is, but there was another thing that they lingered on that mattered. It was like a number they showed or something, and I was like, that means something, but I don't know what that means.
Where did you see a number? Where?
I think it was in the antique shop. One of the people had something identifying them.
Do you think there was something on the license plate that I never
Yeah.
That was something
that?
they lingered on. Yes, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know what numbers. It was
But
the
it's
rental car.
But it was I think if you said it, it was one of those things where
A113?
no, it was
It wasn't that one.
no, it was like
A113.
Okay.
it was like an acronym where it
It sounded
I
like
tried
something.
to remember what it was.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
good.
'Cause if you
Yeah.
Then we'll move on to favorite moments. Since we're still in spoiler territory, we can just talk about favorite scenes in the movie, favorite characters, just things we loved about it. Because it's a movie that I think a lot of people will love. It's a really fun, really funny, really emotional. And I'll start with a super emotional scene. I think the scene where Gabby finds her new owner is terrifically put together. Super emotional, has a bunch of heart to it. Just a gut punch of like a moment in those movies. But you guys can talk about other scenes. Just pick whichever one you want.
well, Toy Story really likes to bring on the tears, the whole franchise, like every different,
I don't think Toy Story 1's emotional. Is the weird part.
Right. I kind of agree with that.
Yeah.
You might be right.
Toy Story 2 has the one scene, and that's about it.
Oh,
Which is a bad scene. Like, it's a hard
Like
scene.
Jesse's-
But Toy Story 3 is...
Like they
knife
really
in
went
the...
for it.
Yeah.
This one was not as bad as 3.
I think it was just as bad emotionally.
I think
See,
they were
I
working
don't-
more on fear than emotions.
Okay, my mom wasn't too keen on the ventriloquist
Was
dummies
a horror
because they were a little
movie.
scary, but
The fact that there were 4 of them.
Yeah, they were. They even mention it. One of the characters is like, "Oh,"
And
yeah.
they don't talk.
they just opened their mouths.
Yeah,
Yeah,
And
that's
it's
a
not
little
like
scary.
they're scary, and the main
And it's
new
really,
character is scary.
It's really
She's
creepy.
not
'cause
scary,
when
she's
you first see it,
misunderstood.
it's this thing pushing a stroller.
It's like a horror
Around the
movie
antique
scene.
store.
It is like a horror movie,
They were
especially
going-
with Annabelle coming soon.
And then they're guarding.
The main
Forky.
character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Not the main character.
No, they're guarding Gabby.
Oh,
Yeah,
gotcha.
yeah.
They're
They're
uh,
They're her
watchdogs.
minions. It
Yeah,
was-
they're basically
Woo!
watchdogs.
They were.
And
It was. They were terrifying.
They gave the wrong intentions for Gabby. Like, they kept making her creepy, but, like, she wasn't...
She was creepy.
Well, because she just seemed creepy. She wasn't creepy.
She was
One-
very, very creepy.
She just wanted to be loved. That's all she wanted. She was
Sure.
never loved
So
because
did-
her voice box
So
broke.
did, yeah, okay. She was crazy. She was a crazy character.
But she had always been a malfunction though,
Yeah.
and so
So she never got that same amount
They
of love
did a
and
really,
attention.
really good job of developing relationships with the different characters. In
My,
this.
one of my favorite scenes, if we're going into that I think established Forky as an... I'm literally saying this in like a sort of critical review of a movie where a character called Forky is someone I care about.
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, because they showed the weird part is they blatantly put it in the teaser. They're like, "Hey, we're gonna put a fork in this movie, and you're gonna love him because we're Pixar." And I was like,
And
"There's
this
no
is Toy
way."
Story.
Yeah, but no, the scene where Woody's explaining to this fork,
Are you sure
this
you want to go
spork.
here? You're going to go here?
What do you mean,
You don't think this is too much information?
Mom? We're in spoiler
Oh,
territory.
okay. Oh, okay.
We did that like 5 minutes ago.
Okay, all
We
right.
were just talking
Just
about the
making
main
sure.
character's
I don't know.
plans.
Oh, sorry.
When Woody's explaining to Forky what a toy is, and this spork is just having this look of amazement when he finally gets it, is something beautiful. And like when Woody's explaining to him this whole journey he's gone on, you know, that means something to me, having seen all the Toy Story movies.
I kind of saw a parallel with how Woody has to convince
Buzz to be a
He's-
toy.
Yeah, to be a toy. Forky's convinced he's trash. And there's a long part of the movie where Woody's job is to babysit Forky.
'Cause
and
he's
keep
always
him
running
from
to the
getting
trash.
In the trash.
Which is a really funny bit.
And you would think
then
it
when
would be
they're-
so stupid, though.
And
That's
then when
the
they're
thing.
going down the road together and Forky keeps being dragged. And then he's asking to be, will you carry me?
Will you carry me?
They like had a weird, awkward silence in that. I was like, okay.
Well, yeah, it was because they were showing like him getting dragged. It was
No.
funny.
It was after the dragging part. It was like they were just holding hands and he was walking.
And it was
I was
just
like,
funny how Forky wasn't put together very well. And
Yeah.
Things kept falling off of him.
Well, because it's a little
Yeah.
Because it's
girl's
a
creation, and
kindergartners.
it's so
Right.
They did
beautiful.
good.
Like
it was good.
in that same way, because like one thing that I think this movie does so well, especially like again, it's a spork. It's literally a spork with googly eyes. But this child, you know, this little kid, like it's the most important thing in the world to her, and that means something like huge to Woody.
And I could definitely relate to the parents how they're, when she loses Forky, they're trying to, reassure her they'll find it, but at the same time they're like, that's
we can
trash.
make another one, yeah.
Literally can make it from
Yeah.
anything.
And then my favorite part of the whole movie is when the toys manipulate the RV. I thought that was really funny. And also the plush toys attacking the... What?
Mom, we are in spoilers!
Sorry.
He literally said a spoiler before saying another spoiler! But no, the plush toys is an incredible moment, especially because they...
Oh my gosh.
Comedic jokes. You know,
Yeah,
the
so-
rule of 3 is one of the best rules there is in comedy. You do it once, you do it at the same time, but then you linger on the third one, and it was absolutely beautiful.
Right.
It was so perfect.
Casting Michael Key and Jordan Peele was a thing of beauty.
gosh,
If we're talking about
so
voice
funny.
casting as well, Dirk, please stop. Dirk, sit, please.
See, I
That's
thought
our dog.
I thought for sure Seth Rogen was in it.
No,
Oh
Seth
my
Rogen is
gosh,
not in
They
it.
were so perfect. They were
But
so
Keanu
perfect.
Reeves as a
Oh my
Captain. What is it? Captain Canada.
No. Duke
Kaboom.
Kaboom.
Duke
Duke
Kaboom.
Kaboom.
Yeah.
Yeah, Duke Kaboom was just this weird character that worked
He was
so
perfect.
well. Especially, it's a stupid side story, but
basically,
it
was
works
evil,
with his
it
character.
was kind of a play on Evil Knievel because he dressed up in the American flag and he was the stunt cycle and the way the toy could do amazing things in the commercial.
Yes.
But when you actually got it and brought it home,
It was a commercial, John Pierre.
Yeah, and the fact
You know,
he's
the more we talk
Canadian
about this
and
movie,
the
the more
kid's
I
name
like
was
it.
Jean Pierre.
I just love that thing where they go back and it keeps like haunting him where
Yeah.
he's like,
when
No,
he sees the vision
John
of
Pierre, I
when
can't
he's
do
trying to
it.
make the jump.
it's just like the things they come up with, for a movie that doesn't matter. With Toy Story 3 like being
It's
wrapped
just
up,
a stunt driver should not have any fear or any
and they
hesitation.
create this amazing character with
Yeah.
Keanu Reeves voicing. Other great moments.
I did love it when, oh god, what was it? There was something he said that was like, I'm gonna have to come back to me.
Yes, I Canada.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about.
No, not yes.
Yes,
I
I Canada.
And it's so fun the way they work those relationships, because Woody, the first time he's seeing, again, Duke Kaboom, sort of taking this a little serious. There's a guy named Duke Kaboom. He's Canadian, Evil Knievel, but
He's
Woody
doing poses.
Yeah, he's doing Woody thinks this
so
guy's
perfect.
absolutely crazy, and he even does crazy things. But by the end of it, Woody's cheering this guy on, making sure he's doing the best he can. It's just something like there's just a thing of beauty with Pixar movies that is again present here that I think makes this a must watch and not inconsequential to this trilogy, but makes it an incredible group of 4 movies. I don't know if they're going to do movies after this, but if this is a collection of 4 movies, I don't think there's been a collection that's as good ever.
I was just thinking that.
Yeah. I cannot think of a different,
Star Wars.
just 4 movies in a row. No, because never.
No?
No, because you have episode 4, episode 5, episode 6, but then you have episode 1.
Oh.
So it's not a collection of 4.
Right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Okay, this is interesting. I'm sorry, I'm looking on Google.
You're good.
Duke Kaboom had a cameo in Incredibles 2.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Really?
Yeah, they
I knew
said you
about
see
that.
him briefly in a scene featuring
In
Jack Jack.
Jack's bed.
Yeah, in Jack Jack's crib.
Oh, interesting.
But I thought that was interesting. Yeah, this is
It's
a picture.
really-
That's
It's
so
so
fun how
fun.
they do that in every movie where they put something plain in sight.
And then you get to look back on it and you're like,
It's
oh,
fun to
that's
watch
the,
it again.
Yeah.
the movie that you saw.
Because I was looking very hard for the onward plug that they were doing. I mean, it is a split-second scene.
I feel like these movies, like the Toy Story makes me feel like I
The first
didn't.
Incredibles movie?
No, Toy Story's mom.
I know, but the first Incredibles
No,
movie?
No, the second one.
Oh, okay.
I feel like Toy Story makes me feel like I didn't love my toys enough.
I don't feel that way.
I do.
Toy Story is the reason that I literally couldn't sell my toys at garage sales.
Yes.
So I treated my toys
oh
with...
my god.
Because when I was 8, I tried to sell toys, and again, parents can attest to this. Someone bought one of my toys, and then I was like, nope. Closed my little bin of toys, ran him inside. Because I had this one little guy, I forget, he had blonde hair. He was just this...
IKEA doll.
Yeah. I didn't know that was an IKEA doll. But it's just one of those things. They're able to have this emotional weight to inconsequential things that makes the movie so perfect to me. Like this is, I don't know. There's just something special about the Toy Story line, and just going back to these characters was wonderful. But I don't know if you guys have any other closing thoughts that you guys want to give. I'm trying to think. Oh, Bo Peep again, as mentioned. She's great. Like gone rogue. Lots of fun.
She's awesome.
And that relationship with her and Woody is really interesting. Also, the little miniature person is funny. I forget what her name is. But do you guys have any closing
those
thoughts?
Are like those micro toys.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the
I
way
used
she
to have
comes
one.
down
Giggle
the stairs.
McDimples.
Giggle McDimples.
Yes, yeah. But I like the whole idea of, a generational gap where Woody's so important to Andy because that was the toy. Or maybe it wasn't even the toy because he was made in the 50s, but it's his first toy.
Yeah.
And that's not the same with Bonnie. And it's, Woody sort of accepting this new role.
Yeah, exactly. And the fact that Jesse is the sheriff.
Yeah.
And I do like that he gives her his badge.
Yeah, that's
It's
awesome.
kind of his accepting, this is my new role.
I felt like
That I'm a lost toy traveling in a carnival now.
Well, no. He's not a lost toy anymore.
He's got
He's
his
right
people.
where he needs to be.
Oh, okay.
That's what Buzz said. I thought that was like an incredible...
That was a close one. That was a close one for me when they...
I mean,
they
when he
said-
hugs Buzz... Okay, if we're talking crying moments, I cried the whole movie. The only time that I felt emotionally baited, and it still worked, a film is trying to get you emotionally invested, so, that's just how it works. But Pixar does a great natural way of establishing these emotions and making you care about these characters. However, with that said, I thought they went a little bit too far when this girl's going to her first day in kindergarten. They make her sit by herself at a table.
my
This
gosh.
kid walks up and just takes her things. And I was just over there sobbing like, why?
Oh, it was
She's
awful.
such a nice kid. They would know. And, she just makes this cute little thing, Forky. And that's why, Forky matters to people. And that's why, it was even more, and I've said beautiful so many times, but it is really something beautiful that Pixar is making 50 kids when we walked out of the theater make their own Forkies in the main room. It's just something that's fun. Like a lot of movies can't do that.
I'm confused because I felt like Forky didn't have that much vocabulary at the beginning, But then he started speaking like full-on sentences, and I'm like,
Well, because Woody spoke to him, and he kept
Remember
giving
that
him
whole
more.
montage where
Yeah,
he was
they were
And
walking for a
Gabby
while.
was basically
they
interrogating
were
him.
walking 5.2 miles. I mean, it was quite a
Yeah,
And
and
the
they are
words.
toys.
And they're toys. And they're some short little legs.
Yeah.
Still a lot of steps.
And he was dragging Forky most of the
There was so many funny things.
Yeah, this is spoilers, so I'll actually put a little thing that about wraps up our review for Toy Story 4. Again, this is a movie that all of us are recommending. It's a great time, and one thing that I think will be interesting to see. So this movie didn't really make expectations on the box office, but I think that's because Toy Story 3 wrapped it up so nicely. So many people were like, "Oh, well, I don't need to see a Toy Story 4." However, I think because of the critical reception it gained, and everyone that's going to be like, "No, you do have to see Toy Story 4" that saw it this weekend, I think it's going to have an amazing second weekend and beat yesterday by a large margin. But that's our review of Toy Story 4. We're going to wrap things up with recommends for the week.
Can I say something? Okay. I give this movie a 4.5 out of 5 Turks. Okay.
Okay.
We're
We're going to wrap this up with what?
Okay, I'm going to cut that out later.
What?
So this is anything you've seen, whether a film, music, TV, art, just podcast, any form of anything art related, you can recommend right here. Mom, you can go first.
That's a lot of pressure.
It is a lot of pressure, but
Micro anything.
recommends for the week. Dad, please get off your phone.
Micro anything. Micro Dirty Jobs guy. That's who I'm talking about. Not like micro. The Dirty Jobs guy has a podcast.
Are we talking about movies?
You
or?
said stuff.
Oh yeah, keep going. Sorry, you just spent a lot of time saying micro.
Well, it sounded like I was saying microscopic.
But then you said it 6 times.
Micro has several podcasts that are great, and I highly recommend you checking them out.
Especially the thing about the Girl Scout cookies.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
It's the best one.
Okay, Dad, what do you have?
JJ McCollum, which is a Canadian that I like watching his videos. He has a new thing about the top 20 Democratic presidential candidates, and it's really amusing.
And
to
interesting.
say the least. Well, you didn't listen to them.
I listened to them. It was interesting.
But
yeah, we can link that
the
video
fact
somewhere.
That, they're so desperately trying to find a good candidate, and even though they have over 200 people, there's not anyone who stands out from the crowd.
All right, Maggie?
I'm going to start up a new channel next week with Dirk and Daisy as the main characters, and you should go check that out.
No, she's not. That's not happening. So I don't know. I saw Knives Out this weekend. That is a film that won't be out till November. I can't say anything. I signed a non-disclosure. But when that comes out, it's going to be a must-see that you guys should check out. And that's pretty much all I can say without being arrested. But other films I saw this week, I actually checked out the Pirates of the Caribbean series. I saw 1, 2, and 3. I watched them all in the same week for our Throwback Thursday this week. And I have a full hearty recommend for 1 and 2. 2 specifically because it's just lots of fun. The waterwall scenes enjoyable. There's just fun action. They're silly movies, but if you like action and bombastic things, the Pirates films hold up surprisingly well. That about wraps up our entire episode of All That Film. Thank you guys for listening. If you want to check out more stuff that we do, we have a YouTube channel where we post different segments during the week of just all different types of film. Additionally, if you're listening this to Apple Podcast or Spotify, we have them on either, and we post our episodes on YouTube as well. If you want to reach us, you can do so at allthatfilm.wordpress.com, or you can email us at allthatfilm1@gmail.com, or our Twitter account if you want to be involved, allthatfilmpod. So that wraps up our episode. Thank you for listening, and have a great day. That's a bad way to end it. Jeez. All right, bye.